Lacey, and I am pumped for what's about to happen. Before we get started, there's just one thing you need to know. Easter Jam is for everybody, and I do mean everybody. So if you're a teenager, this is for you. College students, you too. And younger kids, get ready, because you can take the lead in some serious fun today. Adults, buckle up. This is going to be an Easter experience like you've never experienced before. The only way to not have fun with this is to not participate. So look around. Is there anybody missing? If so, go get them now. Hit that pause button and make sure everybody's here. We're about to get started in 3, 2, 1.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
One of the greatest Easter candies ever created, in my personal opinion, are these little guys, Peeps. I know not everyone agrees with me. Some people find it very hard to eat such a cute little creature. But did you know this year they even have special flavors out, like cotton candy Peeps or party cake Peeps? Oh, so good. I can't wait to munch into this little guy. But how about you? How many people in your family love Peeps? If you love Peeps, give a thumbs up. If you're like, ooh, I just can't eat that cute little face, or really don't like how grainy they are, give a thumbs down. Look around and see what your family feels or how your family feels about it. No matter how you feel about Peeps, you're going to love this game. We're going to have a Peep jousting contest like you've never had before. You're going to need Peeps and toothpicks and a microwave. So go ahead and get those things, and then I will explain the rules before we get started. Okay, here's how you play. First, you're going to need to get 2 Peeps, and you're going to need to divide your family into 2 teams. So there'll be a Team A and a Team B, and each team gets their own Peep. If you don't have Peeps, large marshmallows will work too. And you can decorate the marshmallows or Peeps if you'd like. With Sharpie, you can draw mustaches or draw clothes or give them fun eyebrows. If you do that, though, just make sure you don't eat them afterward. And maybe to have some fun, you could also give your Peeps cool names like Madame Sugarcoat or Sir Sprinkles. You get the idea. Be creative. Once you have your Peeps ready, you're going to need to also grab your toothpick. Next, you're going to need to prepare your Peeps for battle. Stick a toothpick in each Peep to prepare them for battle. Think of the toothpick as a joust, or a lightsaber, or sword. Just depends on how serious your family is about the competition. Make sure the toothpick is facing forward toward the other Peep. Then place the 2 combatants on a microwavable plate. No social distancing necessary. You want the Peeps to be close together and facing one another. Finally, time for the big event. Gather around and put the plate in the microwave, setting the timer for 45 seconds. You won't let it run that long. In fact, don't let it run that long. Then press start. Watch at a safe distance until the Peeps drop their toothpick sabers and one touches the other. The toothpick that touches the other Peep first wins. As soon as this happens, you're gonna want to stop the microwave. Trust me on this one, families. Okay, it's go time. Don't forget to snap a photo of that epic finish. I'll wait here while you guys go ahead and pause the video and start that battle. So, how did it go? Who won? I would love to see your pictures. Feel free to post them on Kokomo Zion's Facebook page. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun too. Although, I have to admit, this is what happens to them after the end. A little bit deflated, but that's okay. Are you guys ready for another game? For this next game, you're going to need a lot of socks and a laundry basket. Clean socks, dirty socks, it doesn't matter. They just have to have a match. So go ahead and grab those things right now. Hit pause if you need to, and then I'll explain the rules. Okay, do you have everything you need? Great. Here's how to play. You're gonna put all of your socks in a mismatched pile on one side of the room. Just make a big heap of all the socks. And on the other side of the room, you're gonna put your laundry basket. You'll need 2 people to play this round of this game. You can always play more rounds if you have more people. Those 2 people will line up by the pile of socks on the one side of the room. When I say go, they're going to reach in and try to find a matching pair of socks. Once you find a matching pair, you can roll them up like an Easter egg shape or a ball, or you can fold them inside out like this to make a ball. And you're going to take the matching pair and you're going to toss them into the basket on the other side of the room. If you miss, you gotta go grab it and bring it back and try to toss it again. The person that has the most socks, the most matched pair of socks, in the basket on the other side of the room by the time the 60 seconds is up is the winner. It's going to be the honor system, so make sure you're honest about which sock pairs were yours. So do you have everything? Do you need a second to go get everyone and everything in place? If so, hit pause now and then I'll tell you when to go. Is everybody ready? All right, get ready because this Easter egg throwdown is about to happen. We're gonna put 60 seconds on the clock. Are you ready? It's gonna happen in 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, families, come on back over here. Who won? Whoever won can have a special treat today. Maybe one of these things. I'm just kidding. Maybe you'd actually want a real peep that hasn't been melted yet. But I hope you guys had fun with that. We're celebrating because today is Easter. If you don't know the whole story of Easter, that's okay. Today, we'll talk about what makes today, maybe more than any other day, a happy day. But before we get there, I know you have a lot of family and friends who would love to hear from you. And to make that happen, you have a few options. Pause this video and pick one of the challenges on the screen to wish your peeps a happy Easter. Nice going, church fam. Even though we're celebrating a little differently than we have before, that's okay. Easter is still happy. And it's not just because of peep wars and Easter baskets or chocolate bunnies, although those things are awesome. It's happy because of what happened thousands of years ago at the first Easter. It's the world's most powerful story, and yet it's so simple. So simple, in fact, that it can be told with some laundry.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts and minds and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and his disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with his friends, he told them that he would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of his own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then he died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely he was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took his body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now he was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down his life. Through God's power, he defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, he's promised to return, so we can live with him forever.
Wow, I never get tired of hearing that story. I mean, God sent Jesus to this world and he died and rose again for us, and it reminds me that he is greater than anything bad that we could be experiencing. In fact, the fact that Jesus came back to life is proof to me that we can face anything bad that happens. I like to think about it this way. I can blank because Jesus is alive. So for example, I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive. Here's an idea. Take a few minutes and add to this list of things that you can do because Jesus is alive. Answer this question as a family. How would you fill in the blank? I can blank because Jesus is alive. Pause the video while you discuss. When you're finished, meet me back here. Awesome. I love conversations like these because remembering what God has done in the past helps me to trust him with what's going on in my life right now. I hope that's true for you too. And I hope you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with your family. To get you started, here's one last challenge. For this one, you'll need to decide who's the technology guru at your house. Maybe it's a step-parent, an aunt, or an 8th grader. Either way, decide who that person is now. Got it? Awesome. As soon as this video is over, I want you to go outside and take a family Easter photo. You can do it all dressed up or in your pajamas. It can be totally normal with smiling faces or silly ones with those filters that turn your face into a bunny rabbit. No matter how you do it, take a family photo and make it awesome. Then share it to social media. You can even share it to our Kokomo Zion Facebook page. Remember to use the hashtag EasterJam2020 so we can see your family's Easter style. Maybe now more than ever, it is a time to celebrate and remember God's faithfulness and the hope He gives us in Jesus. After all, that's what makes Easter so happy.
The greatest day in history. Death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. The empty cross, the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same. Forever I'm changed. I'll never be the same. When I stand in that place, realize meeting face to face. I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive.